Hi guys, hope you guys having a good day. If you're tuning in to this video, then that means that you have been thinking about joining the United States Navy, or maybe you're just trying to figure out which branch would be a good branch for you to join. So I'm going to break these videos into different sections so that you won't get too bored listening to one topic or all the topics in like a long video. So I'm going to just try to keep it short, simple, and straight to the point with each topic that we talk about. Before I even start, I just want to say that, I don't want you guys to join because you feel like there's no way out, in a sense. That's the worst thing you can do. Joining because you feel like it's something quick and easy for you to do, but you got to realize you are giving yourself away for however many years that you sign up for. So don't think that this is the right way out. I'm not saying, I'm not saying that at all, but just like, I want you to join because this is something that you want to do. Don't do it because you feel like this is the last all hope or whatever the case may be. So this topic, we're going to talk about recruiting and MEPS. I'm going to talk about my experience. I've been in the Navy since July of 2012. So July 2nd was my second year mark this year. Around February time, I went to a prestige private college. I went to Claflin University. I didn't have enough money to continue to go to the school, and I had a good GPA. I had like a 3.2. I was doing good. I applied for like 14 scholarships, but I just couldn't get I could not get anything, any scholarships out of the 14 that I applied for. And it was either you go home, find a job, you struggle to pay for the school, like scrap up any type of change, or join the military. And before I even went to college, the military was on my list. Something that I wanted to do, but my mother kind of swayed me out of it. So I ended up joining. I was kind of in between the Air Force and the Navy, but my cousin, I ended up choosing the Navy because my cousin, she wanted to join the Navy. So we both wanted to join. I was in between the Navy and the Air Force. So I said, hey, what the heck? I'll look at the Navy. I had an awesome recruiter. He didn't lie to me about anything at all. He kept it real with me from day one. So when you talk to your recruiter, pretty much you're going to do a long questionnaire about since you were born to now. So they're basically going to ask you questions like, have you ever been in a hospital? Have you ever had any surgeries? Do you pee the bed? Are you allergic to anything? Have you ever had depression? Have you ever committed suicide or attempted suicide? They're going to ask you all these different type of questions. Have you ever been to a mental hospital? A lot of things that they're asking you is pretty much to weed you out to see if you qualify to join the military or not. So keep that in mind. Now, your recruiter may tell you, you could just answer no straight through, don't. Any type of questions of that manner, like have you ever committed suicide or whatever, just say no, don't worry about it, you're stable enough, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to tell you to do that. I'm going to tell you, like if you had any surgeries or whatever the case would be, do whatever you see fit. I'm not telling you to lie at all, but do know that if you have any type of health complications and you do join, that's something that you're going to have to take into consideration of in the long run, because you never know, it might creep back on you later on in the years. So that's all I'm going to say. Now, the recruiter's job is to get you to join, get you to be able to join the military, and MEPS' job is to basically find anything that they can find when they evaluate you to basically get you kicked out or get you disqualified to join. So the first time I went to MEPS, I went to MEPS 3 times. Yep, 3 times. The first time I went, I went to take my ASVAB, and I scored low on my ASVAB. That's one thing I also want to let you guys know. Do not settle for anything lower than a 75. Do not settle for anything lower than a 75. I cannot stress that enough, because the higher your ASVAB score is, the more jobs you have open and available for you. So if you're settling for like a 56 like I did, then you're going to be stuck with like low ranking jobs. And pretty much I told him that I wanted to retake it over, because I didn't study for it at all. I just winged it or whatever. And when I joined, I thought I was just going to join the reservists. I had in my mind that I was going to join the reservists. That way I could still go to school and have a little job on the side, because I couldn't get a job while I was in college for nothing. My main goal was to join the reservists, still make some money on the side, going to drill every weekend, and being able to finish school. Well, I ended up going back the following day, because after I did my ASVAB, it was already late in the day, because normally I think they close around like 5 p.m., 6 p.m.-ish. Somewhere around that time, I think that's when they pretty much close, and I already hit that mark around that time. So the next following morning, I woke up. You wake up like 4 o'clock in the morning, get ready. They put you in a hotel, and then they send you to MEPS. So the next morning, you know, I'm getting ready to go to MEPS, and during this process, you basically go through all these different types of medical evaluations. So they check your eyesight, make sure you have good vision. They check your hearing to make sure you have good hearing. And these also come into play with which type of jobs you got. So let's say you did make a high enough score, like you made a 75. So let's say all the jobs are open for you. If your hearing is not up to par, if your sight is not up to par, some of the jobs that you may want that requires you to have a high score, you may not be able to do it because of a low hearing score and a low sight score or whatever. And also they make sure that you're not colorblind and things of that nature. They also, what type of else tests do they do? They make sure, I think they do a test to make sure like you're not flat-footed. I can't remember. All I know is like a little duck walk they make you do. If you can't do it, then you don't pass. It's weird. I don't know exactly what that's for, but they pretty much put you in a room with a bunch of girls, and you strip down to your bra and panties, and they do those type of tests. They do like arm tests and legs and different things to make sure that you can, I guess, you're physically fit in a sense. I don't know. You talk to your a gynecologist. They ask you have you ever had any STDs. They also ask you in a questionnaire before that as well. But they ask you about STDs. They ask you, I think a certain age, like 25 or whatever, that's when you start doing pap smears in the military. So if you're like me, I'm 21. I never had a pap smear in the military. So I think once I turn 25, that's when they'll start doing annually pap smears. Yeah, so the gynecologist talks about that as well. They ask you if you have like irregular periods, so many different things. Male, I don't know what they asked them. I didn't ask any male what they asked them in MEPS, but they pretty much just asked about your whole general health. And if anything, I guess, sparks a red flag for them, then they're pretty much going to tell you no. Like with me, I told them that I'm anemic. And at first, the lady was like, oh no, if you're anemic, then you can't join, blah, blah, blah. So they did blood work on me. And I pretty much had to go home. So like I spent all day till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon there, from 4 a.m. till 2 o'clock. And then they told me no. And I was so heated. But they pretty much went to the blood test. They called me a couple of days later, told me everything was good to go. I went back the following week to finish my MEPS process. So after that happened, I went to talk to my liaison. Everybody has a liaison. Every military branch has a liaison that you go talk to, and pretty much they talk to you about your job, careers, what do you want to do. So when I talked to them, I told them I wanted to go reservist. He started reading me job information that was active duty. So he's reading me all these different jobs, and he was like, you know, they do this group do that, this rate do this rate do that, and I'm interested. And then he asked me, he said, wait a minute, you trying to do reservists again, right? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, oh, I'm sorry, you don't qualify for these jobs because this is only for active duty. So now I'm contemplating, like, damn, should I go active or what? Called my mama. She didn't answer, so I ended up saying yes, I'll do active duty, and I picked OS, Operations Specialist. Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. I called my mom after that because she took forever. She don't answer the phone. She didn't answer the phone, so she was upset. She was mad. She was like, "Oh, they duped you. You let them get you, blah blah blah." But I can say this: the military has definitely been a love-hate relationship. You're gonna have great times. I have had great times, and I also have had bad times as well. But that's anything you do in life, honestly. Like, even with school, you're gonna have great moments in school, then you're gonna have moments where you're just like, I hate it, you know. So it is what it is. But that's pretty much how the MEPS and recruiting process goes. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. That's pretty much it. So stay tuned for the rest of the videos that I will have. I'm also going to be doing some for women, and I'm going to also do it for African American, ethnic women. Talk about hair regulations for females and all these different things that you know, I think people should know. And I honestly wish that I had someone telling me this information back before I joined. And I did, but I didn't really listen to some of my friends who were in the Navy. I should have listened, but a lot of things I did wish that they touched base on with me, or whatever the case may be. So I would have been more prepared. It wouldn't have really swayed my persuasion if I was going to stay in or not, or join or not, but it just would have been very helpful to know. So you guys have a great day. Catch me in my next video.